should feed them, Gisborne. They'll work better. With the compliments of your royal brother, King Richard, God bless him.
Errol Flynn, a swashbuckling legacy. Top 10 moments that defined his career. Errol Flynn became famous in Hollywood during the 1930s and 1940s as a leading man in several adventure and swashbuckling films. His acting career began in England, and his role in Captain Blood, 1935, launched him into stardom in the United States. He went on to star in many other popular movies, and aside from his acting career, he was also an accomplished writer, publishing several books like his memoirs, My Wicked, Wicked Ways, and he also liked adventure and traveling a lot. However, on our video today, we are going to focus on the 10 most crucial moments that contributed in making Errol Flynn's acting career, from the time he was new in the film industry until he cemented his status as one of the greatest Hollywood actors of all time. So stay tuned for this one-of-a-kind learning experience, and don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notifications to know every time we upload. Number 1 on our list. Flynn was known to lie in his resume, like marketing himself as a star on several films and a world-class boxer, of which none was true. However, this bluffing actually paid off when he was spotted by a Hollywood talent scout who signed Errol to a 7-year optional contract with Warner Bros. He arrived in Hollywood in January 1935 to commence his acting career, and shortly after he courted the French actress Lily Damita, who was already popular in the industry. They got married 5 months later, and this gave Flynn an entry into Hollywood's elite social circles. With his charming personality and great looks, he quickly became popular in Hollywood, and his on-screen performances shone light on his acting talent, with his breakout role being in the 1935 film Captain Blood, that launched him into stardom and established him as a leading man in various films. Number 2. Errol Flynn was widely recognized for his athleticism, which he often displayed in his films where he did his own stunts. He grew up in Tasmania, where he learned how to swim in sailboats. He also played tennis, was an accomplished rugby player, and also did some boxing. His boxing skills were said to be particularly impressive, since he had even claimed that he had won all of his amateur bouts, but there's never been any substantial proof of this. He was so good at swimming that in fact held a world record for the Australian crawl. Flynn continued to participate in athletic activities. A good example is that he used to play tennis with his fellow actors and studio executives, and a member of the Hollywood Cricket Club, where he played alongside stars like Boris Karloff and David Niven. In short, his athleticism and persona greatly contributed to his popularity as an action hero in Hollywood. Number 3. As we mentioned earlier, Errol Flynn was a renounced writer and publishing his memoirs, My Wicked, Wicked Ways, in 1959, and it was an instant hit that topped the New York Times bestseller list for a few weeks. The memoirs gave details about his adventurous life, which was full of scandalous stories and anecdotes, and helped establish Flynn as a larger-than-life figure in Hollywood. This is from his childhood in Australia, his early acting career, marriages, love affairs, travels around the world, and in general the time he spent in Hollywood. He was also not afraid to reveal his darker side, like his alleged affair with a 15-year-old girl and his addiction to drugs and alcohol. Despite the controversy, the book helped in cementing Flynn's reputation as a Hollywood icon. My Wicked, Wicked Ways was honest and revealed the life of one of Hollywood's most famous actors. It helped fans see through the man behind the screen and helped create a lasting legacy for Errol Flynn. Number 4. Flynn's active role in the military played a big role in his acting career. He joined the military in 1942 after the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor, and he was determined to serve his country, hence enlisted in the Army Signal Corps. Flynn was initially assigned to the 45th Division, but he was eventually transferred to the Army Pictorial Service in Hollywood due to his knowledge in filmmaking. He worked as a producer, director, and actor in training films and military documentaries. In 1943, Flynn was shipped off to the South Pacific as part of military service, where he was stationed in New Guinea, where he both directed and produced documentaries for war purposes. He also served as a medic and a radio operator, which earned him a reputation as a dedicated and brave soldier. Eventually, Flynn was discharged from the military in 1945, having served with distinction. Flynn's service in World War II had contributed largely on his career and image. Being known as a patriotic American, and his military service added to his already impressive legacy as an actor and adventurer. Despite critics claiming that his service in the war was simply a public stunt, Flynn remained proud of his service and went on to support the military throughout his life. Number 5. Errol Flynn's iconic role of Robin Hood in the film The Adventures of Robin Hood, 1938, was regarded as one of the greatest adventure films ever made. His charismatic performance as the legendary outlaw helped in establishing him as a Hollywood icon and solidified his role as a leading man in the film industry. His role as Robin Hood is considered one of the most memorable performances in his career, and the film, which was directed by Michael Curtis and William Cayley, was a major success that won them 3 Academy Awards. The film's colorful cinematography and intriguing action sequences, combined with Flynn's charm, made it a classic. His chemistry with co-star Olivia de Havilland, who played Maid Marian, also contributed to the film's popularity. To this day, Flynn remains the most iconic actors to have played the legendary outlaw. Number 6. Despite his popularity, Flynn also faced several personal problems away from the big screens, like his party lifestyle, which often landed him in trouble. He was known to be an alcohol addict and a big womanizer. He faced a lot of legal problems, like in 1942, when he was accused of statutory rape by 2 underage girls, and when he was charged, he was acquitted of the accusation. His marriage to Lily DeMita was faced with many challenges, with both parties indulging in extramarital affairs. His personal problems were often reflected on his performances in films, and this brought about complexity and a depth to his characters, since he brought out a sense of vulnerability. Number 7. Regardless of his success in Hollywood, Errol was frequently faced with financial problems arising from his lavish spending and extravagant lifestyle, and was often left in debt. His divorce with Lily DeMita really cost him, since he had to pay a large settlement. He was forced to sell his yacht, the Sirocco, and even his Oscar for Best Supporting Actor in the 1952 film The Sun Also Rises, to pay off debts. Despite these difficulties, Flynn went on working in Hollywood and maintained his status as leading man. His financial problems only added to his complex and often tragic public image, bringing him closer to his fans. Number 8. Errol Flynn was known to be an adventurous man who wanted to live out his on-screen roles that often landed him into dangerous situations. He had a dream of becoming a war correspondent in the tradition of his great hero Ernest Hemingway, and even went to Spain during the Civil War to cover the conflict. However, he ended up getting mixed up in the fight and was lucky enough to escape narrowly. This sense of adventure and willingness to take risks added to his on-screen persona and helped establish him as an iconic figure in Hollywood. In 1942, he was charged with smuggling drugs into the United States from Mexico, and he was later on found guilty. Nevertheless, his adventurous spirit and willingness to take risks helped build his image as a Hollywood icon. Number 9. Errol Flynn's ability to play a variety of roles was one of the main factors that cemented his status as a Hollywood legend, since he did not only stick to swashbuckling films, but he also played dramatic roles like the portrayal of Dr. Peter Blood in the film The Seahawk, 1940. He also showcased his comedic talents in films like Gentleman Jim, 1942, where he played the role of boxer James J. Corbett. Overall, Flynn's versatility as an actor allowed him to explore a wide range of characters and genres, and his ability to bring depth and excitement to his performances solidified his place in Hollywood history. Last but not least, number 10. Errol Flynn has been immortalized in many films and TV shows, since his performances are still watched all over the world and are celebrated to date. His influence can still be seen in performances of other actors like Johnny Depp and Antonio Banderas, who have both mentioned Flynn as an inspiration. His impact on Hollywood was significant, since he brought a unique blend of charm, athleticism, and charisma to his performances. Flynn's signature swashbuckling roles in films like The Adventures of Robin Hood and Captain Blood defined a genre, set a standard for action-adventure films that continues till today. Despite his early demise in 1959 at the age of 50, Flynn's legacy has endured through his films, which continue to captivate audiences with their sense of adventure and romance. His impact on Hollywood history is undeniable, and his name remains great with the golden age of cinema. In conclusion, Errol Flynn was a true Hollywood legend who continues to inspire and captivate audiences with his legacy today. His dynamic performances and ability to play many different roles cemented his place as a Hollywood legend, and despite his early death, his films continued to be celebrated and watched all over the world, reminding us of the enduring power of classic Hollywood cinema. Thanks for joining us on this quest as we get to know about the moments that made Errol Flynn the legend we know today. See you on our next video.